Hi, everybody!
Well, this certainly wasn't what I wanted to cover when I woke up today. I was sleeping when this news broke. Because, content creators are basically vampires. Because the world around us just isn't conducive to being quiet during normal business hours.
Tell me when I'm telling lies!
Yeah, you're right. There basically is no such thing as sleep for us content creators. What is sleep? Tell me. What in the comments? What is sleep? But, just like me, you are also off topic, you senile old man, so get back on the right track.
As TheMadBelmont just put it, I'm burying the lead so much, it's as dead as Tango Gameworks. Yeah, that's the topic for today's video. Oh boy, I'm going for a rant on this one, because this is certainly a shitty situation. So before we get more into my opinions and thoughts on the matter, let's discuss the history of Tango Gameworks a little bit. The studio was opened in 2010 by former Capcom employee Shinji Mikami. During its first year of existence, it suffered financial hardship and was acquired by ZeniMax Media, who owns a ton of studios, Bethesda being the most famous of them. ZeniMax was later acquired by Microsoft in late September of 2020. Microsoft announced they'd acquired the company and its subsidiaries for the cost of $7.5 billion, making for a rather expensive toy. It's clear that the acquisition of ZeniMax was more for Bethesda than any other studios, and that has kind of blown up in Microsoft's face. Mostly because of the two big hitters in the portfolio, Bethesda and Arcane Studios. Arcane really dropped the ball with Redfall, but could pick themselves back up again with Marvel's Blade, which is seemingly in very early development given we were only shown a cinematic trailer for the title. As for Bethesda, well, they remain Bethesda, because their games...
it just works.
Only they don't. Do I want to play Starfield eventually? Yeah, I do. But it's clear that Bethesda haven't tried to advance their gameplay loop past what it was in 2006. That would be fine if the engine powering their games wasn't so bipolar. Seriously, just look at how glitchy and broken Starfield is at times. That was fine in the mid-2000s. In the 2020s, it's unacceptable. It's almost like Bethesda did fuck all to improve the creation engine in its newest iteration.
Tell me when I'm telling lies!
And why would Bethesda do that when they know they can just rely on their fans to go and actually fix the game after launch? Like with Starfield, like with the Fallout games, like with Skyrim, like with Oblivion. You see what I mean? Like, Bethesda is one of the most mod-friendly developers out there. Like, yeah, sure, none of their games come out. None of them actually work. But who gives a fuck? They actually let their fans do all the work, and they do better work than Bethesda could ever fucking do. So, yeah, I get what you're saying here, but just let them do their fucking thing, okay? Like, there's no use complaining about it. They're just gonna fucking do it anyway.
But either way, a lot of studios Microsoft have acquired over the past handful of years have released stinker after stinker, leading to lower consumer confidence. One of the few bright spots was Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks, which dropped out of seemingly nowhere in January of 2023. I'm still working on the review for Hi-Fi Rush, so hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on that video. But you'd think, the one studio who's actually generating some goodwill for Microsoft gaming would have been given time to cook up something new and exciting. But nope. It and a few other studios got their heads lopped off like they were filthy monarchists during the French Revolution. Basically, it seems like dark times are ahead for the gaming industry. Well, seemingly more so if you're under the Xbox umbrella. But anyways, let's get into my thoughts on Microsoft shuttering Tango Gameworks. So, my thoughts on the matter? I'm pissed about this. Since I actually really loved Hi-Fi Rush, I saw a ton of potential in releasing sequels for it. Not only was it mechanically interesting with a really interesting setting, but the game was, fun, unlike a certain studio that has forgotten what games are supposed to be about.
Tell me when I'm telling lies!
You're never gonna let Naughty Dog live this down, are you?
So yeah, I'm not exactly happy on the matter. Especially when there are other games like The Evil Within 1 and 2, were well received, and Ghostwire Tokyo was an interesting concept. I really have to play that game in the future. The company was set up with a few IPs that Microsoft could have leveraged into some great exclusives. But hey, Microsoft seems confused on how they're handling exclusivity going forward. I recorded a video just before the release of Hi-Fi Rush on the PS5 discussing what Xbox games could go multi-platform in the future, so hit the like button and check that video out when it goes live. So yeah, Microsoft, by doing this, have lost one of the few studios even making good games for the Xbox platforms. If I was an Xbox player, I'd be absolutely livid about this closure. Then again, most of them are dude bros who only care about pounding back energy drinks and whatever the newest Pew Pew game is. It's akin to an alcoholic and an inbred gun nut hillbilly hanging out, if they weren't already the same person.
My feet tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, and you're a cranky old fart trapped in a 33-year-old's body that basically looks like you've never ate a fucking cheeseburger in your goddamn life. Also, you just so happen to not only look like George Carlin, but you act like George Carlin and a mixture of him and fucking Bill Simmons. Not to mention the fact that you sound right now like Damien Sandow when he's preaching to the unwashed masses. Also, you sound as preachy as CM Punk during his straight edge days. Should I continue?
Either way, it ain't a good look. I really do hope those working at Tango Gameworks are able to find good jobs in the gaming industry, because they were making unique and interesting games. Either way, after this news, I'm now less of a fan of Microsoft than I was before, which is saying a lot, as I was already an Apple fanboy.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, just fucking admit it, you never were, you counterculture piece of goddamn shit. Come on now, you know that you love to go against the grain, and because the PC platform and the Windows platform is the grain, because a lot of people like me can actually afford these things, and because these things are actually better to fucking use, that's why you went with fucking Apple. It's because, for one, you had a lot better luck with Macintosh systems than you ever did with a Windows system. And for two, you somehow can decipher the code that is that terrible Mac UI. I cannot get over just how stupid that fucking UI is on Macs. My entire school, high school anyway, used Macs in the library. I hated it. I fucking hated it. I was just like, give me a Windows PC so that I can actually do something here.
I'd like to say the gaming industry would be a better place if Apple made their own console, but we all know that's not going to be the case, since tech bros can't run a gaming company for jack fucking shit. These companies are run by trust fund kids who only got their jobs because of nepotism. So, were you a fan of Tango Gameworks? If so, which was your favorite game of theirs? Let me know in the comments section. Thanks go out to my current channel members, R. Campbell and Dani Boy. If you'd like to get shoutouts at the end of every video, early access to content, and exclusive videos, then hit the join button or the link in the description. Want more of my content where I dunk on Microsoft? Then check out my video on the future of Xbox. Not interested in that? Then check out my 10 studios Sony should acquire this generation. Until next time, keep blazing that trail.